Oh, g'day folks. I'm just kicking back here for a moment, and I just was answering a couple of YouTube comments. I always like to answer you guys back when you put a comment up. Really, especially now, this time, we need a lot more connection. We can't see people face to face as much as we used to now, so I think social media really helps. Yeah, I think it's good. It's good. Oh, just nice on the knees. Well, folks, in the last video, I had a bit of a muck up where I put the lines in the wrong ends of the cylinders in the master cylinder, and it turns out I didn't realise there's two types of flares. There was a ball or bubble type flare, and that was on the pressure side going into the brakes to feed the calipers, and then for the reservoir there was like an inverted flare. It's actually, I did get to learn, it's a two-step process. So the first step on a flaring tool creates the bubble flare or the ball flare, and then on the second stage you turn and use another little die, and that creates the inverted flare, which goes over like a cone in the actual female end of the fitting. But anyway, got it all sorted, and oh dear, I've got brakes. Well, I've got rear brakes. I'll show you in a sec. I can't get away from this fire. So I've got rear brakes. I used a beautiful little, what do you call it? I don't know the name of it, but it hooks up to your compressor and it creates vacuum, and it pulls out it's like a vacuum or Venturi effect. And I've actually done videos on that a couple of years ago. Creates a Venturi effect, so it pulls out fluid, and I used it on both of the calipers just to get the air out and get some fluid through. I never actually used it as a final bleed off. I had my son, we pumping the brakes a few times. I did it twice, again, to get all the air out of it. And oh my God, I've got an unbelievable pedal. It's incredible. Oh, I suppose I better get up and show you. I don't want to move. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Sunday here today, so I've had some beautiful, beautiful weather. A lot of frosts, but beautiful sunny days all the same. Yeah, this is the little gadget. So it creates a Venturi effect through here when the air gets blasted through, and it draws on this. So you hook it over to on your brake nipples, and you can just drag it out. I'm not sure if I would actually use that to actually fully bleed the brakes. I'd want to pump the pedal and make sure that you can create a bit of pressure in the line from your master cylinder. But it really helps, get all the fluid through, pulls it all through. It's great. This is what I use, guys, for my brake fluid. Awesome, awesome stuff. It's American. RT700 torque. Thank you, Blair, for that one. And I ended up having to strain it a couple of times because I wanted to reuse it so nothing gets wasted. But look at the crap. It's brand new fluid through those brake lines. And I did blow them out with the compressor too. Flushed them out. It's just bits of crap. Maybe a little bit in the master cylinder. But, oh no, great little thing that too. All right, I'll show you what I've been up to. My reservoirs. So obviously the left-hand one's for the back brakes, and I've got the front one plumbed in, but I haven't done the front brake lines yet. So that's sort of stage 2, but that's easy. Now that I know my flares, it's going to be an easy little fix. All right. Well, I put on my, hang on, I'll just set this up. I've got my little brake switch all hooked up. Now that's the original switch that come off, and this is actually original bracket, but I did modify it to fit there. It works like a charm, I'll show you. How cool is that? Orange brake lights. That's the old school lenses that have just faded over the years and they turned orange. I reckon that's pretty cool. Now I'll show you this. I've got it adjusted, the balance bar, with the bearing on this side. So in theory, this should deliver more power this side because it's moved across. So if I go across that way, it's going to give more front brake. And it's great. You can just twist it and dial it all in. I love it. I reckon it's a great design. I got talking to a few people about it too. And a lot of people swear by them. But watch this. Insert move. Hang on. Here we go. So that's, we've got pedal. So basically, there we go. That's how cool is that? I'm going to have plenty of pedal too, guys. I thought I was going to, well, when I hit the floor, it was nearly fully done anyway, but I thought, I just had a funny feeling I wouldn't get a hell of a pedal, but I've got unbelievable pedal there now. It's just incredible. Love it. So my next little job now is to run the front one. But it's all hard line, guys. I didn't waste any. Well, I wanted to challenge myself with the hard line because I rather like it. I think it looks really good. And it's not as expensive as braid. And you know damn well the hard line won't expand. You'd imagine, I know a lot of guys do, or I've seen a lot of cars with it, but it's expensive and this is quite cheap. This was actually very tricky to do. It took me a little while, and it's hard on your hands. I'd say a good hour each. Well, that one was easy an hour because that was the last one I put in, and oh my goodness me. You just have to shape it, and it just takes your time. So it should be fairly easy to finish off now because we've only got the front one come up and over, and we'll probably run through to it. Well, this is where the factory proportioning valve was here originally, so I could run the T and then my only concern, guys, is running the T there. It's like it's an offset, so you've only got like a foot up to the front right hand side caliper, and then from then I've got a line. It'll probably go down. I'll follow the original path under the cross member on the back side of it. There's a couple of clips down there to fasten it to, and then back up the other side. We're probably talking, what, 3, maybe 4 feet across to the other side. Is it going to, when you push on it, will it push out evenly? Like it won't sort of want to grab the front first. I don't know. My thought would be my other option was to come down and then run the line from the cylinder, master cylinder, say roughly halfway under your cross member, and then tee off back up to here, to the right hand side, and then tee off to the left hand side. So let me know, guys, if it is critical and you need to do that on this setup. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, factory ones weren't too concerned about it, so maybe it's fine. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'll just make a nice little plate to go over that, and I'll just screw it on so we can take it off and then service it if we need to take one of the cylinders out for whatever reason, and go from there. Awesome. Love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, one other thing too, guys, before I go. I have my my power steering, electric power steering all wired in. Now, apparently there's two ways of hooking up this Astra motor. There's 3 lots of wires that come out of it, and they're trigger wires, and if you hook them up a certain way, you get the instant startup of the motor. But if you run it the other way and power them all at once, you get this real slow. And I'll show you that actually, because I can actually do it. So I've got it on the first stage is on my ignition, and then if I want the quick startup, all I've got to do is flick this down. And there you go. Now this will be great. This will be fantastic. This will be fantastic if, say, for example, I'm just fluffing around up here, got the motor going. I don't have to flick on the power steering motor. So only when I'm driving. So I'll soon know if it's not flicked on. I'll feel the steering pretty much straight away. But this is this other version you can hook it up to. Look, listen to this. That's the slower startup. So I could leave it on all throughout the day, but I just have a slow startup. So either way, it doesn't matter. Listen to it, it's still winding up. Awesome, love it. I've got a nice big 80 amp fuse and some nice heavy wire. Decent wire run to the pump and all tucked away around the back there. So it's great. I love it, guys. It's coming together finally. Oh, a lot of work. I underestimated this brake upgrade, guys. I really did. I went into it not knowing too much about it. I had it all sort of stripped out in a day or so, all the whole lot, the pedal box, everything. And I really never knew much about it when I went to tackle it, and this is why it's sort of dragged on like it has. It's been 6 months. Plus, finding out my axles were bloody bent too, so extra costs there. There was an extra $1,000 for axles. So these things take time. But it's paying off. So hopefully, guys, next video I'll have the front brake lines all done. We'll have fluid in them, obviously, and I'll have it all sort of ready to really test. And what I want to do then, fire it up and give it a bit of a brake test off the back at least, and just see how it feels. And we'll get to hear this beast again too, because it's been too long. 6 months in dry dock. Ugh. But that's all right. This is going to make a massive difference, to this car, guys. It's going to be unbelievable now. The braking is this is what's really holding me back at the moment. The brakes, and we'll go up in gearing. I've got the 3.5s there to put in down the track later on, once I get a feel for these brakes. But I'm guessing these brakes will really get me on the money, guys. And for those who know Simmons planes and my times, the best I've done so far is a minute 4 down there. And it's the brakes that are letting me down big time. And I've still managed a reasonable time. But I think now, I reckon I'm knocking on the door of under a minute. Seriously, guys, I'll be able to just to have that much confidence in them. It'll be quite scary. Can't wait to test it. All right, folks. Well, I'll pop one up soon when I get them all hooked up. Another week, and we'll go from there. Just before I go, I've got another little surprise. It's another car. It's my son's car. I'm not going to let too much on about it, but he's been doing a little bit of work to it, and we got talking last night about it, and I suggested, why don't I do a video on it, and we'll just have a talk about it, and any little updates we'll throw in there. It might not be a dedicated video on it. It might be, I'll have to think about that, but I could include it in the videos. But anyway, he's doing a bit of work to it, and it's actually, I'm very, he's doing some beautiful work. He's actually really, this time round, he's just taking his time. He's not rushing things. And he spent a few bob on it too. And he's got some incredible plans for it. Maybe a little turbo in the scheme of things down the track. He desperately wants to do it. So, but for now he's doing other things to it, and I'll go on about it when I show you guys. It's very interesting. So we'll have another little car to talk about in the wings too. All right, folks. Well, take care. I know things are tough for a lot of you guys out there, but just hang in. Keep yourselves busy. It helps me. It helps me immensely. Just keep yourself busy, and things will turn out. Don't worry, it always does. I have faith in this. It's a bit of a challenge for us all, but we'll all get through it. And just hang in there, guys, and keep yourselves busy. All right, folks. Catch you later.